Yeah, welcome back to Not Another Budget. I'm Nicole, and on this channel, I'm attempting to cash budget my way out of debt, fix several years of financial misbehaviour, and somehow pretend I'm a functioning adult who did not just have a nap for 2.5 hours completely unplanned, and therefore is scrambling to try and get you a video. So, hi, welcome to said video. Um, Not the video I was going to film. The video I was going to film required a little bit of organisation and pulling things out to kind of do, and I napped instead. Times like this, I have to remind myself that I'm a functioning adult and it's all okay. If you ever have that moment, ever have moments like that, it's fine. You've come to the right place. Now, with luck, my income is going back to normal. Please. From the end of this month, and having not had quote unquote normal income since the end of February, which is February, March, April, May, 4 paydays, possibly 5. It's a little bit weird, and I will be honest. Between that and the tax rebate that I've got coming in this week, my mind is just going into a little bit of a tailspin, and I can't get the maths to math, basically, which is a really silly thing because, like I said, I'm a functioning adult who can live independently and do all of these things, and yet for some reason the math isn't mathing. And yesterday's video where I just reconciled and added up numbers was fine, but me trying to actually make financial decisions right now just doesn't seem to be there. And I've known about this tax rebate for 3 days, and I know what my wage is going to be in theory, so I know therefore what I could do with it, but it's just been a while. It's been a while, and for those of you who are like, what on earth are you going on about, girl? I am a first year teacher. So I'm on the lowest of the qualified teacher pay scale. And I bring in, after taxes, £1,900 a month. 1980, but sometimes I just round down because it's easier. But 1980 is the amount that I bring in a month. And I've been signed off. I've been not very well. So as a result of that, I haven't had full wages since the end of February, being my last. End of January was my last proper wage. I then went down to reduced income from February, and yes, it has been a time. It has certainly been an experience, which I know a few of you have been around for. And we've had some highs and we've had some lows. And I'm feeling this innate sense of paranoia that because my normal income is coming back and because I have this tax rebate and because the maths isn't mathing, that it's just going to disappear because I will completely lose track, which is ridiculous because I do budgeting, and yes, I'm not the best at reconciling, and I probably owe more monthly reconciliation catch up review videos than I do not. And it's strange, isn't it, that like this is the thing that I've certainly been waiting for, and I know a lot of you who are in my comments and my regular viewers throughout this have been kind of having all fingers and toes and everything crossed for. And yet I kind of don't really know what to do about it, which is weird. What I am going to try and do though is just try and see if I can get my head around what a budget might look like. And I'm going to go to one of my last. I'm going to go to the very back of my budget planner. Developments on something like this becoming a physical, tangible product are in the works. I'm doing some research. I'm having a look because this is my self-printed, self-designed. So just putting that little Easter egg out there. Lots of discussions this weekend were had. And I think what I'm going to do, can I rip? Yeah. Can I open you? Is this going to cause an issue? Right. I'm finding myself a little bit at sea because what I would like to try and do is to start bringing regular debt payoffs. Now, think we've already identified that I'm trying to do too much, and I'm trying to, therefore, nothing is getting done. And thanks so much for your comments on yesterday's video and getting your feedback on there, because I have very much gone back and forward on the Etsy, eBay, Vinted, eBay, Vinted, eBay, Etsy, Etsy, Vinted, like the whole kind of shebang. I really have gone back and forward on, and I'm still not set on a certain plan or a certain idea, and obviously napping hasn't helped. But on a standard month, so my standard wages, certainly for July and August, I should and need to get confirmation, but in theory, I would be in receipt of a pay rise as well from the end of September, because in theory, I jump up the next rung on the pay scale because I've had a year's worth of teaching under my belt. But that doesn't necessarily, I don't have that confirmed, so we're going to go with this information, but that in theory would be another kind of £100. In theory, at the minute, my wages is around £1,980 is what it should be. This is without anything extra that I bring in from either tax rebates or eBay or Vinted or even YouTube payments as well, which are starting to become a monthly regular thing, hence why you have seen an increase in videos. So 1980 is what I know I should normally have to work with. Now my rent is fixed, so my rent is going to be £950. My council tax is absolutely driving me mad at the minute, and I am someone who likes to just pay, and if I can pay ahead, I will pay ahead. It's a very antiquated structure. It's a very antiquated collections way of going about things. And because I made a slightly larger payment this month, I think £4 more, and just rounded it up to 150, it's therefore put all of my payments to 150 and then one to 151. So I kind of want that paid and gone, because as a payment by itself, it's pretty hefty and it's pretty extensive. And it's also annoying because if you miss a payment, you get a 7-day window and then they jump very, very, very quickly to kind of more aggressive collections activities. And it's one where if I were to go down onto half pay again for whatever reason, I would struggle to pay that and would not get any leeway at all. So between my rent and my council tax, I'm already sitting at £1,100. This is also the first time really where I'm going to be having, in theory, my full wages without extensive costs for my cat. And that's really important to note. My cat costs have jumped from about £300 a month all the way down to 60 to 160 if I need to put him in for a blood test, which I might choose to do this month or not. It depends. If I can try and push it back to next month, I will. But I'm just having a look at him going, now I think I want to get you looked at and tested, but that's a separate thing. My energy, which is combo, what I have chosen to do is I have transferred my energy from one supplier to another. I was finding that I was getting very, very concerned that with me racking up arrears, even with the payments that I was making on a flexible tariff, because I was only on a flexible tariff because of my arrears, that every time I would try and pay ahead, I would chip away at the debt. But then every time we reached a period of higher usage, say winter, I couldn't afford to pay what they were charging. And therefore, I was never ever chipping down away at those arrears. And in fact, they were increasing over time, and they have increased over time as well. And that's before we even factor in just annual cost rises of energy. And I was getting worried. They were inching closer to 5,000, and I was getting really worried that they were going to go ahead with and push for kind of enforcement of a prepayment meter, which is the most expensive, worst way to go about it, and wouldn't still help me tackle my arrears at all. So what I have done is I have transferred energy suppliers. The arrears will be left with my original company, and my original company I will then deal with purely on the basis of, you have a debt of mine, so now let's tackle the debt. And my current energy supplier, or my new energy supplier, is £121, but that is a price which is fixed completely. Doesn't matter what I use, I will pay £121, and that is what I feel like to be a reasonable increase per month on top of the 100 that I was making. And I can then kind of deal with the well over £4,500 worth of arrears as a debt, not as a current live account. So that's what I've gone ahead and done there. My water is going up. So my YouTube Premium is my one subscription, and I don't have TV license, so that covers everything: music, TV. So that's on there. Amazon Prime I don't really have, but obviously cloud storage, I feel like everyone is paying for some form of cloud storage. Mine is £2.49, but we'll round up to £2.50. No. The car tax, this is rounding up, is 17. I have a feeling I'm going to be left with 500 for the month. Car insurance, it's 58. What other bills have I had to pay? Mobile and Wi-Fi, yep, that would be useful. My mobile is 16. My Wi-Fi is 35. No. Plus 60 minus. Oh, bummer. Right. 1980. Take 150. Take 121. Take 50. Take. No, it's not right. 1980. Take 950. Take 150. Take 121. Take 50. So for perspective, rent, council tax, energy and water, just paying those leaves me £709. Then we have the one subscription, then we have the storage, then we have the car tax, which I legally have to have, my car insurance, which I legally have to have, my mobile, which is 16, my Wi-Fi, which is good as I'm going to get for my area, is 35. What are my other bills? What are my other bills? I know I have them. What are you? Contents insurance. We're going to round down and take 7. Bowie doesn't have car and pet insurance because of his age and his health conditions. His council tax, man. His council tax is absolutely killing me. Right. Which I kind of suspected would be the case. Oh, 14, 19 and 50. £1,419 and 50 pence just on bills. I know I would call those core bills. I wouldn't say that my annual DBS renewal isn't in there. I would put my teacher planner in there as an annual bill because it's something I'm required to have and my school does not pay for because I work for a school that doesn't have a lot of money. Cool. So then I have £560 and 50 pence. So that's food and fuel sorted. And cat food sorted, basically. Right. It's £50 a week. I'll do this on the basis that it's a 4-week month. 9 times out of 10 it is a 4-week month. So food would be 200. Cat food would be 60. These are all monthly bills. If he needs a blood test every 2 months, and it is now £116, and I divide you by 2, that is £58. His medication I get every 3 months, but it was 140, so, and that's 20, so 125 divided by 3. Cat meds is 41.66. Let's make that 42. I don't like what these numbers are telling me. Fuel. If I just go to work and back and do nothing else, and realistically I'm going to do something else, so let's round that up to 150. Fuel is 150. Toiletry / household being cleaning products, replacement light bulbs, etc., batteries and things, let's say £20 a month, because those costs have gone up. How are we looking? 560.5, take 200, take 60, take 58, take 42, awesome, £200 left, take 150, take 20, oh, jeez, ah! £30.50 left. And there's no spending money for me in there, which I know some of you are going to be like, but you shouldn't be spending by yourself. Okay, well, don't smoke the cigarettes and don't drink the alcohol and don't look after the kids and don't do the things. Why do I, as a single person, not have to give myself anything? So even if I were to give myself £15 a week or £10 a week, there is not the money there to do that. So let's just put it down as spending, when realistically it's £20 a week to 25 is what I give myself, and I do have stuff out of that as well. Awesome, cool, right. So there is no money to pay my debts or save. Well, was not worth waking up from a nap from. Must remember that I'm an adult and cannot have a temper tantrum on camera because I'm not a spoiled teenager. Well, the extra money that I was saving on the cat has gone on council tax. If I wasn't paying council tax, and I can't negotiate my council tax, by the way, you pay what you pay. Or, no, because the sensible thing to do is to save for the vet's visit and the cat meds and factor it in. Or do I go ahead and do some kind of challenge and save it that way? I don't know. I want to have a temper tantrum really bad. Right, okay, why am I like frustrated? Here's why I'm frustrated. It's because, like, this is a good £1,980 is a good wage. Like, it's good money. There are people in my country who are raising children and do not have that money coming in and would love to have £1,980 coming in. And whether they're getting help with subsidised rent or lower costs or whatever doesn't make a difference, because they are paying for children and young people. or additional needs or additional medication or additional services. So it all balances out in the wash. And what really frustrates me is that I am looking at this and going, I don't think there is anything on here which is outrageous at all. £50 a week. Yes, I'm a single person. Costs have gone up. I am trying to eat healthily. Emphasis on the trying, but I'm going to have a real good stab at it. So I feel like £50 a week now for a single person in a high cost of living area isn't bad. My fuel is going to have to be what it is because I can't guarantee I'm going to have a week or a month where all I do is just drive to and from work and back, no matter how many journeys I combine. That leaves me with nothing spare if I have to drive to a hospital or do something. The sensible thing to do is to budget in for the cat vet visits and cat meds over the months in between. But maybe on the basis of this, I do need to bring in a challenge. And this is why I'm really like, there is nothing here which is outrageous. So, how have we got to the point where just under £2,000 a month isn't it? I can remember being really young, like, and taking home like £600 a month and thinking like, oh my gosh, this is so survivable and so doable. I was living at home with my parents, so like fine. And like, oh my gosh, the amount what I would do with £2,000 a month, that's so much money I don't understand. Like, I'm gonna go have a temper tantrum. I'll see you on tomorrow's video. Have a good evening and I'll catch up with you then. Bye bye for now.